the fascinating story of writer Michael Frayn. He talks to Melvin Bragg in just a few minutes' time. First, though, the ITV News with Steve Scott.
Good evening. American forces have claimed tonight they now control the Iraqi city of Fallujah after a ferocious week-long battle. Victory, though, has come at a cost. 38 soldiers have lost their lives, along with 1,000 insurgents. What isn't known is the extent of civilian casualties. Many fear a humanitarian disaster. Gary Cottrell reports.
Things are quieter now. Fallujah is said to be almost entirely under US control. As one senior officer put it, occupied but not subdued. That subduing process, a sweep north to south, house to house, could take another 3 or 4 days.
As of late last night, we've actually been in all parts of the city. So in other words, the city has been seized. We have liberated the city of Fallujah.
The fight for Fallujah raged for a week. The death toll so far, more than 36 Americans, an estimated 1,200 insurgents, and who knows how many civilians. But as Iraqis who fought side by side with the Americans celebrated, there was bad news from Mosul in the north. The US is battling to regain control of Iraq's third largest city after insurgents overran 2 police stations just days after a looting spree in which they stole police cars and weapons. Back in Fallujah, there are now fears for thousands of residents who've been hiding in their homes without food, without water, without medicine. It's still not clear when these streets will be safe for the aid agencies. Gary Cottrell, ITV News.
The new Palestinian leader, Mahmoud Abbas, has escaped injury after gunmen opened fire while he was paying his respects to the body of Yasser Arafat. There was chaos as militants and security guards exchanged fire at the Morning Tent in Gaza City. 2 bodyguards were killed in the incident. Palestinian officials have denied it was an attempt to assassinate Abbas. The government today revealed hard-hitting plans to combat the obesity epidemic facing Britain's children. It wants to ban all junk food advertisements on television before the 9 o'clock watershed. And it hopes to bring in colour-coded labelling on food to indicate how healthy it is. Our political correspondent Angus Walker reports.
Want succulent chicken breast?
Ads like these could soon be seen just as damaging as images of sex and violence to young viewers. Ministers want food adverts aimed at kids banned before the 9 p.m. watershed. Childhood obesity has doubled in the last 10 years, and the government says it has to censor children's favourite food commercials. Like most mums, Carolyn Anderson tries to give her 2 girls, 3-year-old Katie and 8-year-old Becky, a balanced diet. But like all parents, she knows how telly can produce pester power.
Obviously they say, I'd like that, I'd like that, I'd like that. Often, particularly I suppose with food, it's McDonald's are linked with this or Burger King are doing that, I want to go there.
The ad ban will be backed up with a traffic light labelling system. Items marked red will be salt or fat-laden foods like burgers or sweets. Amber will be for things like cheese, nutritious but still high in fat. Getting the green light will be fruit and vegetables. The food advertising industry is fighting the restrictions and says it's being demonised by the government.
It's obvious there's a link between TV advertising and children's food choices, otherwise companies wouldn't waste their money. But banning the ads won't cut out temptation completely, and the polls show that 9 out of 10 people think ultimately it's the responsibility of parents to decide what children eat. Angus Walker, ITV News, Central London.
The Queen today led tributes to Britain's war dead in the National Service Remembrance at the Cenotaph. Her Majesty laid a wreath of poppies in front of 9,000 former servicemen and women who'd gathered in Whitehall. The Queen was accompanied by politicians and other members of the royal family, including Prince William. And finally, it's been 20 years and now Band Aid is back. Today, another generation of music's best-known performers came together in a North London studio to record a new version of the charity song, Do They Know It's Christmas? As in 1984, the money raised will go to help the starving in Africa. And that's it. The news continues on the ITV News channel, but from all the team here, good night.
ITV National Weather, sponsored by Powergen.
Hello, good evening. So it was a beautiful day for much of England and Wales. There was a bit more in the way of cloud further north, some rain across parts of Scotland. That's going to continue over the next few days, and you will notice more in the way of cloud further south, but it is going to lift up the temperatures. So cloudy for northern parts through Monday and Tuesday. Some patchy rain as far south as Northern Ireland and Northern England. Despite that very strong wind, however, it is going to feel very mild, particularly further east in any brighter slots. So a largely dry and a bright start for much of England and Wales tomorrow morning. That's where the best of the sunshine is going to be over the next few days, Monday and Tuesday. A bit more in the way of cloud further west and drizzle along the coast, but thankfully becoming milder everywhere.
Positive energy from Powergen.